Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
This place makes no sense.
The long-awaited Minecraft movie has finally premiered, bringing fans of the video game franchise into the overworld in a new, immersive way. They didn't hold back punches when adapting the game for the big screen, as they captured the original game perfectly. From the squared environments to the wide variety of mobs shown during Steve's adventures with his new friends from Earth, the attention to detail was impressive. Everyone familiar with Minecraft could relate to Steve's thrill when taming a wolf for the first time, only to make a lifelong friend in Dennis, as well as the horror when the first night fell on Henry and the others, only for them to become surrounded by a horde of spiders, zombies, and skeletons. Oh, and let's not forget creepers. We cannot forget the creepers. The mobs and their interactions with our protagonists made the story all the more engaging. But with limited screen time, the movie only featured a few of them. In today's video, I'll cover 7 mobs that should debut in Minecraft 2.
I need protein like Proto. I got just the place, buddy.
Number 1. Witches. One of the few mobs we get a glimpse of in the movie is the Illagers, a group of mobs with evil intentions who don't hesitate to torture their captives for fun once caught. One of the most powerful subcategories for the Illagers is the Evokers, who use their magical prowess to protect the halls of the Woodland Mansion. Henry nearly crosses paths with one while looking for their spare Earth Crystal, but narrowly escapes. Unfortunately, Evokers aren't the only mob in the overworld who can access supernatural elements for personal gain. Witches are another mob with uncanny magical abilities. Like the Evoker, they're hostile and will attack someone on sight, but they use potions to cause a scene. Not only will they throw potions to cause damage, splashing their contents on anyone nearby, but they'll also drink potions to boost their defense, protecting them from retaliation. If you aren't careful, they can be hard to defeat, so Steve and his friends must be on high alert should one cross their paths.
Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison. Gamer of the Year 1989. Whatever. I barely think about it.
Number 2. Phantoms. Sometimes the cute ones are the most dangerous, and that's certainly the case regarding phantoms. These dangerous mobs only appear under special circumstances. When a player hasn't slept or died for 3 or more in-game days, the dying circumstances will likely be impossible to translate into the film universe unless dying in the overworld doesn't impact someone's life on Earth. Otherwise, the phantoms could only arrive if Steve and his allies traveled throughout the night, refusing to stop or rest for any occasion. Phantoms are flying, undead mobs that dive at people from the sky to attack them, often by biting. Since phantoms frequently travel in packs of 3, Steve and the others should have little trouble defeating them or holding their own. But they should try to prioritize rest if they want to avoid meeting these relentless creatures altogether.
Garbage Man isn't speaking English or Espanol.
Number 3. Striders. The Minecraft movie allowed us to see a few beloved locations from the franchise on the big screen. Not only did we see the overworld with its abundance of resources and assortment of mobs, but we also had countless scenes inside the Nether, where Malgosia encouraged her piglins to track down the Orb of Dominance so she could finally block out the sun, which would gradually expand the Nether's power over the overworld. Unfortunately, our time seeing the Nether felt cut short, as most of the movie's screen time went to following Steve and others overcoming their struggles during their topside adventure. In the sequel, I would love to spend more time inside the Nether and see the native mobs up close and personal. Striders are passive mobs who can walk on lava. They're also docile enough that someone may saddle them and ride them from place to place, making them a suitable mount. It would be fitting if Dawn made one her next pet, even for a short time. It would also be interesting if the next antagonist were someone from Malgosia's followers who rose to take her place. It could be her caregiver who once shunned her creativity, pushing her remaining forces to get revenge on Steve. They may also use Striders to traverse the Nether, but I doubt they treat them well.
What the hell?
Number 4. Wardens. There's a scene in the movie where Henry crosses paths with an Enderman while he's alone in the Woodland Mansion. The Enderman invades his mind and forces him to face his greatest insecurities, breaking his resolve until Henry breaks free and attacks the creature with all his might. For the longest time, Endermen were considered the strongest mobs in Minecraft, causing players to rush for their homes whenever one was near. Several updates later, the new mobs have risen in ranks to make players fear for their safety. It also means they would make compelling villains for a sequel, should Steve and the others need a major obstacle to stand in their way. Wardens are hostile but incredibly powerful entities with a wide range of abilities. Once summoned by another mob called Skulk Shriekers, they spawn in the deep dark biome, making them so dangerous it may not be worth crossing them unless necessary. They can swing their arms, subsequently doing the most melee damage in the game. They can also release a sonic boom that immediately hits their target. Fortunately, wardens are blind and must rely on their other senses to find their targets, making it impossible to evade ample distractions. And we know Steve and Garrett are fantastic at those.
Everything we'll need to make it to Woodland Mansion.
Whoa.
Number 5. Ocelots. In the first film, Steve staves off loneliness in the overworld by taming one of the wild wolves. He does so by accident, offering the enraged creature a bone as a peace offering. When the bone tames the wolf, creating an obedient and loyal pet in its stead, Steve finds himself with a loyal best friend named Dennis. Steve and Dennis go on various adventures together across the overworld until a portal takes them to the Nether and into Malgosia's awaiting hands. Steve ultimately sends Dennis back to Earth to hide the Orb of Dominance, which he does, completing his last command perfectly. Everyone loves man's best friend, but wolves aren't the only tameable creatures in Minecraft. At the end of the movie, Steve sends Dennis to live with Dawn, believing it's what's best for both of them, so he might need a new pet for his next adventure. An ocelot seems like the perfect place to start, as these wild creatures were once tameable with fish and become regular house cats. Updates have since switched ocelots and cats into unique categories, but I believe it would be nice for the sequel to pay homage to the older version of the game. Not to mention, taming an ocelot, a wild animal, would parallel his relationship with Dennis.
Yeah.
Number 6. The Ender Dragon. While I appreciated Malgosia and her many piglin supporters as the movie's main antagonists, Minecraft 2 can pull out all the stops with something bigger and bolder. With the first film receiving positive reviews and packed theaters each night, the sequel will likely have the same reception, and it deserves one of the most notorious Minecraft mobs of all time, the Ender Dragon. While Minecraft is widely regarded as a sandbox game that allows players to manipulate the environment at will, the game has an ending with a credit sequence, which can only be accessed using the end gateways. These gateways would then take the players to the end, another location where they could read a thought-provoking conversation. However, these gateways are guarded by the infamous Ender Dragon. She guards these gateways and is extremely hostile. She's notoriously hard to beat if not adequately prepared, and she's one of the largest mobs in the game, so it's no surprise when fans refer to her as the final boss in the franchise. In Minecraft 2, Steve and Alex may find themselves unsatisfied with their lives on Earth and seek answers, which they believe can only be answered once they reach the end. Desperate to feel happy among their friends, they might just take up arms against Minecraft's most fearsome dragon.
They just like to chill, trade, and eat buttloads of bread. They love crushing a loaf.
Some of the best moments from the Minecraft movie were the action sequences between the mobs, Steve, and his new friends. Not only did they keep everyone on the edge of their seats, but they were fun and eye-catching. There was barely a moment throughout the film where it was safe to look away, or else you would miss a stunning detail or well-timed joke. The fighting sequences were stellar. Some more frightening mobs were genuinely haunting, and the livestock were as cute as we imagined. The first film set the bar high, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next mobs in Minecraft 2.
Don't slow down, boy. Don't slow down. You can do this.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Boots of swiftness, diamond armor, full set, and blades for days.